We have been covering a lot on this platform, and we came across a few things that we thought we'd bring to your attention. But I think we have found the ultimate angering, upsetting, and heart wrenching video we have probably ever seen on our time on the internet. And I do mean that. We've mentioned a lot of the times of people who blatantly abuse children, and when we've mentioned it, we normally don't have anything to show, prove it. But this news article, unfortunately, shows the gravity and the depravity of this so-called father on his daughter. Again, viewer discretion is advised.
Now at 6, caught on camera, a man seen throwing and kicking his toddler daughter. Now he's in jail.
The man says he's visiting from Russia, but after his arrest, it could be a while before he returns home.
NBC6 reporter Steve Litz is outside Joe DiMaggio Children's Hospital where that child was taken for a checkup. He joins us now with that video. And Steve, it's just absolutely disturbing.
And a heads up to all our viewers out there that, yes, this is disturbing video to watch. You're going to see the baby was shaken by the father. That, according to investigators, you can see that clearly on the video as well. And so it is for that reason the baby was shaken that medics thought it was a good idea to bring her here to Joe DiMaggio Children's Hospital to get checked out.
Now, before they get too further into the video, emotions can indeed get really high when dealing with kids, no doubt. And not everyone is qualified. Not everyone is able to be a good parent. Some people will become that over time, but some people do not have the mental capacity, the emotional fortitude to be a good parent. It seems that this individual shouldn't have been one. You can decide from what you see whether or not it is quantifiably something that was justified or absolutely out of pocket. We'll give our 2 cents after this interaction is done. But again, viewer discretion.
I've seen people treat dogs this way.
A father is seen on video throwing his daughter to the ground, wrapping her in a towel, picking her up, and then violently shaking her. There's more video, and it's just as disturbing.
The child had to go to the hospital.
Andrei Sevastianov appeared in bond court today, and he was told to stay away from his daughter. In this sequence, police say he brought her in from the pool, dropped and then kicked her, yanked her up by the hair, then grabbed her arm and pulled her toward the elevator. And that's when video shows he threw her to the ground and then picked her up and shook her.
The incident happened here at the La Perla condominium building on 166th Street and Collins Avenue. Police say a front desk worker here got a tip that there was video of a father beating his baby. And so police saw that video and then went right to that suspect's unit.
You can see my hair.
Yeah, me too.
I showed the video to Linda and Shimon Amir. They live in the building.
This is like paradise. To hear something like that is very shocking. Yeah.
When police went to arrest Sevastianov, they say he resisted and they had to take him to the ground. He faces several counts of child abuse. The judge ordered he be held on no bond.
The one bright light in this whole thing is him getting taken to the ground. That is the only bright spot in this whole story, is that he got at least a monicum of taste of what it was like to be handled by somebody stronger than him. That's the only bright spot. Outside of that, I'm looking at his face, and the only assumption I have is that there is no soul there. He does not seem to have an expression of concern, worry, pain for the child, nothing. He just has this blank expression. Almost, and I'm going to make a prediction that they'll probably come back and say, mental issues or schizophrenia or something along those lines to try and excuse it. There is no excuse. That child is barely aware of right and wrong to the extent that that kind of behavior would be warranted at all. The yanking up by the hair, the throwing to the floor, the kicking up. Look. Well, I'll let the news article finish. I'm gonna end up, being a little too hot and heavy for this one. So I'm gonna let them finish.
I'm a strong proponent of therapy. I mean, there's nothing embarrassing about talking to somebody. If you feel like you need to talk to somebody, reach out.
The suspect did say that he is visiting from Russia, and he raised a concern with the judge that he and his family have airline tickets set to go back sometime next month, but due to the serious nature of these felony criminal charges, it is likely he is not leaving the country anytime soon. The State Department of Children and Families is involved, and police tell us that the baby is with his mom now. with her mom, excuse me. Live in Hollywood outside Joe DiMaggio Children's Hospital, I'm Steve Litton, NBC6 News.
Now, listen carefully. He is more concerned about how he's going to get out of there as opposed to, is my daughter okay? Did you understand that? He is more concerned about how the heck he's going to go back to Russia, not a blooming concern about, did I break my child's arm? Did I break her leg? Any ribs? Any brain injury? Nothing. Am I going to go home? That tells me a whole lot about this individual, that he is mental. And if he's not mental, he has no soul. And if he has no soul, he shouldn't be a parent. Now, I'm wondering now whether or not the child being with the mother, if the mother was aware that this was happening, and if they might end up bringing her in if she does the same thing. We don't know. We don't, because if she's allowing the father to take the child, and this is the way the father treats the child, something tells me either the mother has been passive about it or she too has been involved in it. And it might come out to light that that's the case. And whether or not she stays or leaves, that's the next question. But this is unacceptable. Now, the question, look, I've noticed happens more than just with foreigners that come here. We know this, right? We understand that there were multiple people and kids that were abused just like this, just not caught on film. This particular incident, if it angers you, I fully understand why. But if it doesn't anger you, I would like to know why. I would also like to understand how it is a parent can come and say to somebody, I need to leave. Is this going to affect my travel dates? Bro, did you just see what you did to your kid? You grabbed your child by the hair, dropped her, kicked her, grabbed her by the arm, yanked her up, threw her to the ground again, grabbed her up again and shook her. And you're asking me whether or not you can go home? You see, there's a certain reason why I'm not a police officer, man. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. If I encountered that situation, I'd be more than happy to put his behind on the ground the way they did. I would relish the opportunity to treat him the way he treated his child. That's why I'm not a cop. I know I wouldn't be able to handle myself in that situation because my emotions would be too high and I would not be able to separate my emotional outburst over that incident from my professionality. I know that for a fact. So that's why I commend most cops that can handle their situations like that. However, I do hope that he never gets custody of that child back unless he gets help. He better get some help because his child's life seemingly depends on it. And I do hope they get to the bottom of whether the mother was implicit on this or complicit in it and whether or not she had a hand in that child's abuse by herself. At the end of it, the child may end up without both parents. I'm still in a bafflement right now because witnessing it versus hearing about it or reading about it is completely different. What are your thoughts, though? You think we should just ignore it and say he's a foreigner, send him back and let the kid go? It's not our concern. Do you think he should serve time here or be deported without the child and allow the child to be housed with somebody else? Should we investigate the mother to see if she was part and parcel of the deal and probably does it to the kid too? Should this go into a longer investigation to see whether or not the child has been a victim of abuse her whole life? Or maybe you don't see it as abuse at all. Whatever your thoughts are, please leave them in the comment section below because we need to have a discussion about this one. And we'll look forward to reading it.